Here I am in one of my favorite places on earth, a bookstore. Even if you're not a professional writer, writing is a skill that can come in handy throughout your entire life. And as a professional writer, I'm in a great position to give you advice on how to make your writing better. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to answer some of the most popular questions I get about the writing process and how you become a writer. What does it feel like to get a book published? It's pretty much the most amazing feeling in the world. The very first time I saw my books on a bookshelf in a bookstore was incredible. It was something that I'd been aspiring to my entire life. It never goes away. It's always exciting to have a book get published, to know that somebody is able to pick your book up off the shelf and read it and get inspired by a story that you wrote. What does reading do for me as a writer? Well, first of all, it brings me enjoyment. But secondly, I can always learn from other authors. When I read a book by another author, I can learn how they constructed a scene, or developed a character, or created really amazing dialogue. I can even sometimes learn how they edited because I can see what they didn't write and learn from that. Did I read a lot of books? Oh my gosh. I read pretty much every book I could get my hands on when I was a kid. I read every single book in my school library. If I had had the money, I would have come in here and bought every single book in this store and read every single book. I always loved reading. Not every author admits to having loved reading their whole life, but most of us did. Most of us read every single book we could get our hands on. Hey. I wanted to share something with you. This is a letter that was sent to me by a publisher when I was in first grade. And there's some good stuff in here. It says, "Young Mr. Gibbs obviously has talent and imagination. Someday I'm sure he will work in some creative profession, possibly writing." But it does go on to say, "Stories need another level of depth to make them compete in today's marketplace. Such a level one can't expect to find in someone so young." So this really is my first rejection letter. Fact is that most authors you can think of were rejected the very first time they submitted something for publication. I certainly was. In fact, I was rejected plenty of times. So pretty much everybody here had their first work rejected. But the important thing to remember is that they didn't quit after that rejection. If every single person quit after the first rejection, you would have no books in this entire store, in your home, in your school library. I hope that this doesn't happen to you. I hope that you don't get rejected, but if you do, just don't quit. And that's not just advice for being a professional author, but for anything that you want to do. So obviously, writing is a skill that you're going to use throughout the rest of your life. Whether you're a professional writer like me, or whether you work in another field, whether you're a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer or a teacher, you're going to have to be able to communicate with everybody as well as you possibly can. So hopefully through this series, you've learned some helpful skills to learn how to make your writing as good as possible.